The day of reckoning is among us. What's going on? DJ Av here. And we are going to be checking out something sensational today, and that is Tone2's Icarus. And which this is just a beta test. I'm just testing it out and just giving my thoughts and whatnot on this. And, you know, checking out some of the stuff. So it's going to be a two-part video because early access is open to everybody. So the link will be in the description box so you can try it out for yourself. See if you like it, as well as listen to the demos and stuff like that at Tone2.com. So, anywho, since I gotta really get to it really fast because, you know, you only have 30 minutes to check it out. If you had a beta, you can actually buy it now. And of course, you know, I'm living in poverty land. And let's see. Here we go, Icarus. So we're gonna actually talk about this. As you can see, you know, I got the beta version. So again, we're gonna check out the presets in this video. It's actually cool. See, go through the Pitchiators. Oops, well, that's a subgroup. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Off top, my first thing, I really do like how it's animated. One thing I really like about it is it is not really ridiculous on CPU. I think I'm riding 7 CPU right now, as you can see if you look up here, and you know, that's totally fine because again, streaming does, or local recording piles up a little bit of the CPU, gives a teeny bit of a boost. So cool. Always like sawtooth, really quick arpeggiation. Now let's I'm gonna check out some semi-reels. Semi-reels are usually stuff that are supposed to sound like real live instruments and stuff like that. That's how Tone2 likes to work that. So we're gonna go through the subgroup real quick. Oop, I missed. Pretty cool. I think it's really a lot of these sounds are from the video that I reacted to, which actually got a lot of views. I didn't expect to react. Yeah, right. Reaction videos usually do good, but cool. Saxophone. Let's check out saxophone. Chords. Let's see how it does on polyphony. Well, on the CPU when you play chords. Pretty good. And I don't have anything pushed down or anything of that nature, so any volume adjusted, so it's mixed very well. I know when I submitted my presets or whatnot, that was the main thing that they wanted me to focus on, was to work on my mixing of presets. So the guys they're really professional and nitpicky, and that's awesome because, you know, being nitpicky about how certain things sound, especially when you're trying to sell a product to the public, is an essential and a great characteristic to have, because, you know, you don't want to just push out anything out there. Yeah, pretty cool bass. Vintage and chip. This is the going through the subgenre real quick. So let's see how vicious the basses are. Phrase bass. I'm going to. Let's see what the FM is like. Sounds pretty cool. So what I'm assuming from this in general, as I walk through this and listen to a couple of the presets, I'm looking at the interface itself. You know, you have like every box for the window in the GPU is kind of dedicated to having its own page reclams and whatnot. As in, this is oscillator 1, this is oscillator 2, this is oscillator 3. So, you know, from I believe, let me see if I turn off 2, and will 1 still be on? Yes. So they do have an engaged relationship with each other, which you can kind of separate or just use one or use all three. So that is cool. Let's look at this. Holy shucks! I'm just tapping on it. Oh, okay. So you can cycle through what wave shapes you have. These are the wave shapes that are available right now, and yeah, it's a pretty decent amount. I'm seeing if so you have unison, the main genre, or the main genre right here. You know, you have Hypersol 3, Hypersol 5. These are things that were found within Elektra. So that's cool that they kept that along. And even if I was to go way back to Gladiator, which was like the baby or the grandfather of Elektra, they kept a lot of this stuff in there and added more stuff. So wow. So I'm just looking through a couple of things here. So they have FM and get different things like format cross. You know, things you got: white noise, pink noise, noise tuned. I don't know what low CPU means yet. But you know, within the oscillators, you can see right here, you know, you have your typical stuff that you need, or is kind of like the primary things you will find in an oscillator, such as like detune. Then you have octave. Then you have wave, which let's check out what wave does. Cool. Okay, yeah, I'm in 2. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off 3, and we're gonna focus on 2. So you can work with the phase. And then, what I see that's very peculiar is that we have LFO and LFO1 and LFO2, which look like, you know, they have a direct relationship of positive and negative, 0 to 100 to 0 to negative 100, and in the way you would dial it in terms of having it right here. So it has a direct relationship. So my question is, what would LFO3 be? And what would its direct relationship would it be? Would it just be like just an extra LFO that you get to work with there, where if you go into the mod matrix and select like the source or whatnot? Yeah, perhaps so. Yeah, so get out of here, get off me. Okay, so we have that, and then you have like 3 pages of my matrix stuff. So, but I'm just going back into the LFOs. I definitely want to check out the shapes that they have, and here are the shapes that they do have for this so far, and it looks very retro to Gladiator, for the sense that you have this looks like the random, kind of like the sample and hold stuff. Let's dial it in there. But I guess the direct relationship that it would have would be with waves. And as you can see, it's cycling through it, so that's actually pretty cool. So that is actually very helpful for when you're sound designing or whatnot. So, you know, so what we have here, I'm just going to look at the step sequencer, the step LFO. And, you know, the step LFO looks like it is very, very adjustable. Like you can really kind of dial into what the shape is. And it is, you know, just one click left. What does click right do? Nada. So how would I remove that? Don't know. So, but anyways, yeah, you can have it be an envelope, or you can just do it by BPM for just to repeat its process and its steps. It's definitely not engaged. You would have to engage it through the mod matrix, which you have to access it from here, which I see step positive and step positive and negative, which, you know, I guess that would represent bipolar. And then this is just something that I've seen within Electra 2 again, which the setup right here, you know, you get to select a couple of things, which, you know, you get to select how many polyphony voices you want to run. If you want to go one voice or legato classic, all the way up to 64 polyphony, that is there for your access. Then you can actually check out, then you actually can adjust your glide. So there's a lot of features within this. I feel like I'm reviewing this, but I'm really just going through it. But yeah. Yeah, so again, I'm just really just going and just checking out this so far. Read synthesis. Ooh. We're going to talk about that in the second video. And of course, you can check the browser and go through all your presets again. So far when I'm looking at this or whatnot, you know, Tone2 still has the preferable taste in sound, and what I mean by that is just that, you know, it really has a distinguished sound that Tone2 has established within their VSTs. So, you know, that is probably one of the things that, you know, if one of the reasons why you want to get this, yes, then it is still on that tip, on that level. So going from there, yeah, so you have a lot of filters here, and I'm gonna actually talk about those more in the next video. I just want to spread the word out, and we're gonna go and get on that, see what's going on here. So Yeah, so that's the potential there. So if you like this video, give it a like, and we're gonna continue with part 2 because I gotta restart and you know, so that the timer resets and not freezes. And please leave comments. You know, tune in for part 2, and we're gonna really get into like the synthesis of this.